The Lock Artist is a great novel, and it's written by Steve Hamilton. I'm going to do a quick 3-minute book review, so let's get started. Alright, so pretty much what this story is about, it's about this guy, and his name's Michael. And at a very young age, a big tragedy happened to him, and he hasn't said a word since. Now, around the age of 18, he discovers a skill that he has that will change his life forever. With this skill or talent, he'll do some of the most unforgivable things. So his talent is that he can open doors without using a key, and padlocks without the combination, and even eventually 100-pound safes without any sort of like combination or anything. So eventually the wrong types of people are drawn to his skill and push him into a life of crime. So he risks everything between being with the only person he's ever loved and being in the biggest heist ever. In the end, he will unlock the secrets that have kept him silent for so long. Alright, so by far my favorite scene is when Mike first meets the professional thieves. Alright, now here's some quick background. Mike starts working for this man, and he goes by the name of Ghost. Now, Ghost is the man who organizes all these crimes and gets all these people to commit them for him. Personally, I think that's just because he's a wuss, but, I mean, he just hires the best of the best. And so there's an uprising of these like thieves, and it draws Ghost's attention, and he's like, well, I need these people to work with for me. So he gets these people to work for me, but he's really skeptical when he actually meets them because they're just not what they seem like. They are these thieves, right? And they don't look the part. But eventually they like pull some massive heists, and he's like, okay, they're chill. So my favorite scene is where the thieves get to first meet Mike. So Mike is told to go to this hotel. So Mike is at this hotel, and I mean, he is just waiting for these people to come. Now these people start walking in one by one, and it's 4 people. There's 2 guys, 2 girls, and they are what Michael describes them as is bizarrely attractive. Now they start looking at him and like elevator eyeing him, and there's one girl who's just like circling around him looking at him, and eventually she's like, he's so young, he could practically be wearing diapers. So I just find it funny that like first appearances are really deceitful, but then later they do a big heist together and they're like, okay, yeah, he's chill. Alright, my favorite character by far is the main character. That is because his he is super fascinating. I mean, he has not said a single word since his childhood incident. And so I know personally I can talk a lot. So trying to understand not talking and how hard that would be interacting with people just makes me very curious and wanting to know more. Also, he's roughly my age in parts of the story, allowing me to connect with him and understand feelings that he's going through. Now, Mike's unforgivable talent is very fascinating. Being able to pick locks is something that I've always wanted to do because I see it in the spy movies all the time. So I can kind of see Mike as this like chill, stealthy like spy or agent, and that's why he's my favorite character. Alright, so Mike says, it's kind of ironic though that the worst thing I ever did on paper, at least, was the one thing I don't regret. Not at all. Now, as you can see, he says this almost right off the bat. Like, it's chapter 1, page 2. And this quote is very important. He subliminally admits he has done a lot of things that are regrettable. But the one thing that has got him in trouble is the one thing that he does not want to change. Really, what draws me to liking this quote is that it makes me think. I feel like I've daydreamed a lot, just thinking about, oh, if I could go back in time and change this big mistake and all these mistakes that people know just so I'm better or people think of me higher. And yet, Mike does not wish for that. He doesn't wish for the worst things he's done to change. And I'm thinking, why would he not want to have a better life and not stuck in his predicament? But maybe, just maybe, we do learn from our mistakes. Alright, so I would recommend this book to someone who likes mystery, suspense, and with a little bit of romance. Now, the book does tend to skip around a lot, but it's totally worth the patience because it's super suspenseful. It kept me on the edge of my chair like the whole time. Because what would happen is you'd be reading the book, and the narrator, Michael, would be at a really suspenseful moment, just about to unlock this big secret. And then he would just skip to a whole new story because he skips around a whole lot. And then eventually you'd go back and you'd unlock that big secret in the first thing, but then you'd be anxious towards another thing, trying to get to know more and more and more. So it's really great to just hook you in. Now, if I had to summarize this book in a sentence, I would quote Michael Connelly and say that it's gutsy, genuine, and a flat-out great read.